Andrea, Diego, and Carlos. Thank you so much for being here. Today it's going to be an amazing episode. We're going to talk about AI in 2023, reality versus hype, and hype versus reality. It's been crazy in 2023 how much we heard about AI, the different things that are happening, but there's also a lot of noise. So today we're going to try and cut through that noise and understand where we really sit in terms of AI and where we are going. I'm going to ask a few questions, and all of our participants today are going to be bringing their own unique points of views, and then we're going to exchange ideas. So the first question that I have, and we're going to get started with Andrea Correa, is what is your role today? What do you do, and how do you use AI?
Hi, Mateo. Thank you very much for having me. It's such an honor to be part of the conversation. I'm Andrea, Andy for short. Currently on a professional level, I work as a software developer for North American clients, slowly tiptoeing into the full stack world to really see if it's like party in the front, business in the back, or vice versa. I'm also an advanced software engineer student. And to answer your question, through all my day as a software developer, I use various tools. For instance, code editors such as Visual Studio Code, or even integrated development environments like IntelliJ. And of course, AI has become an indispensable tool in my workflow. For instance, taking Visual Studio Code, I use an AI-driven code generation tool that's called Copilot. And basically, for those of you that may not be into the technical aspects of things, you can think Copilot as the old mascot from Word, Clippy, which basically takes your code into consideration and will provide like maybe suggestions for you to work on next, or you can basically command things and it will, let you know what could work with your code, right? And I also use AI-powered chatbots like ChatGPT, which I always have opened, several chats to provide context on the different projects that I work with. And so with this concepts that I'm sharing, I'll give the AI the context of what I'm working for, and it will give me basically answers, taking that into consideration and having that present. So that's basically it.
Thank you, Andy. Question to you. You use Copilot and ChatGPT extensively. How much do you trust its responses? Or let me put it another way. How critical are you of its responses when you're working, right? Are you looking at it and re-looking at it? Just, let me make sure that there's no error on this code before I plug it into what I'm doing, and then do a PR, etc. How do you approach that?
Yeah, that's a great question. So either from a Copilot perspective or even, ChatGPT, I always try to make sure and double check everything. Sometimes it's more flagrant, the error that the AI may have, right? Because sometimes, take for instance, if I command the Copilot to create a unit test for some components that I'm working for, it may be necessary for me to change the variable names, right? So very detailed, like double checking, because it will provide you with an example name, but you'll have to change it, right? But sometimes the thing that you have to double check is the logic behind what you're asking or what you're consulting to the model, right? It's more like it understands some certain request, but it's something logically different from what you were expecting or what you actually meant, right? So I always double check. Sometimes it's just a little change in terms of variable's name. Sometimes it's more deep into the logic, but I always have to double check.
Very good. Thank you, Andy. Diego Martinez, what is your role today? How do you use AI?
Hi, Mateo. My role is a senior AI engineer for a US customer. We use it I mean, we use AI on a daily basis while we use Copilot or using ChatGPT. For instance, ChatGPT, I use ChatGPT when I'm blocked or when I want some push when starting a particular task. So I just like put the prompt there and then get some ideas, and that get me started with the task.
Very good. And Diego, you are you studied AI. You also we could call you an AI engineer. You also have a background in data science. And what exactly are you doing for the client? Are you working with a large language model? Where are you in your career in terms of what you are, not only what tools are you using that have AI, but what you are building?
Okay. Yes, I'm a research operation analyst, data scientist, AI engineer. I have been working with data machine learning like for 15 years ago, like since my time as a graduate school student at the University of Connecticut. Currently, I'm developing natural language processing tools that helps our customer to provide like a more sophisticated experience for the users. The tools that we use could be like from the transformer models that Google developed a couple of years ago, but up to the point of using large language models like ChatGPT, Cohere, just to make the solution from our customer like more reliable to their users.
Very good. I appreciate that clarification, Diego. Diego Cortez, what is your role today and how do you use AI?
Yeah, perfect. Thanks, Mateo, for the invitation. It's nice to be part of this project, Future of the Future podcast. Yeah, okay. My name is Diego Cortez. I'm from Colombia, South America. And currently I am a senior data engineer. I started working with data 15 years ago. Yes, after finishing my professional career in system engineering. I started working as a software developer, but 3-4 months later, I knew this, I like to call fantastic data world. And since that moment, I didn't stop to working in that. Yes, I had experience in some industries, telecommunications, banking, retail, and also working in different roles related with data, obviously. I started as a data engineer, more specifically SQL developer, ETL developer, and then I moved to the data modeling part. Yes, create data models is one of the activities of a data architects. And basically, when we create data models is where we learn how to understand business requirements and translate in data solutions. So this is very nice. And in the last year, I'm more focused in the data analysis part because I work also for an American company who create a cloud-based software platform that allows users to create interactive decision trees and troubleshooters. So yes, working with data a lot. And experience with artificial intelligence, I can say that, yes, as many people, I start this year. Still, I'm working in the traditional data analysis, but slowly I start to learn about artificial intelligence. I use more AI like a final user for personal projects. I use generative AI, is a kind of AI for generating text, images, video, audio, etc. Like ChatGPT, yes. Yes, at the work, also I use sometimes GitHub Copilot when I need to write a piece of code in SQL, Python, etc. And as I said, yes, I am studying studying a lot. There are many concepts that I want to learn that I think is important to learn about AI. Yeah, yes, basically that.
And this is for the benefit of the audience, Diego. Something I do know about you. Disclaimer, I know each of these persons, right? Personally, I have a great relationship with them. I work with them and I enjoy their friendship. Diego, I know that you have a WhatsApp group and then you have other initiatives where you're not only trying to learn AI yourself, it's like you're trying for other people to learn AI and trying to convey the message of this is the time to learn. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, some months ago, some friends, they live a bad situation because they didn't have a job, because they were tired to have these their traditional jobs, and they asked me, okay, Diego, how you are able to work from home? Yes, what do you do? Yes, it's something similar to this question. And yes, I explained something about data, something about work with technology, etc., etc. And then I create this group, this WhatsApp group, when I have some friends there, friends of friends, people who has a technical background with different level experience, but other people who the only contact with the technology is when they use their smartphones. Yes, and they say also, I want to work with technology. What I have to do? And the idea of this group is indeed is transfer knowledge, is a share experience with other people, to say for everybody. Everybody has a space in the technical world. Yeah, so this is the idea. And yes, it's good to mention that the idea is not only learn, it's also transfer the knowledge and know how to other people also. Yes, know about the knowledge of other people. Yeah, so this is the idea of this group.
Very good. Thank you very much, Diego Cortés. Carlos Jimenez, what is your role today and how do you use AI?
Hey, Mateo. Thank you for inviting me. So I'm a systems engineer, as Diego Cortés, and I work as a AI engineer, also for an American client. I graduated from systems engineer. 5 years, 5 years, a little bit over 5 years ago, in Universidad de los Andes in Mérida, Venezuela. All my studying, all throughout my career, I thought that I wanted to develop games or something like that. And in the last semester, I went to a course that was computer intelligence. I learned from AI and machine learning and artificial intelligence. And ever since I got hooked up on the subject, and that's where I started. So I've been working for 5 years as a data scientist. When I graduated, I started as a junior data scientist for a company, and I started learning, and it's been 5 years since I started. Right now I'm an AI engineer, as I was telling you, for a North American customer. And how do I use AI? If you're meaning using it professionally, I use it. I develop artificial intelligence. For example, we are developing semantic search engines. We're developing tools to help authors of scripts improve their scripts. We are developing different tools that can help the customers that we have. And if you mean how do I use it personally, I think we all use artificial intelligence at some point currently. If it's when we are commuting to work or to find some friends or anything, we're using applications that calculate the best route based on different artificial intelligence algorithms. I use it when I use ChatGPT, which I also use professionally and also personally for doubts about code or concepts that I don't understand, or that could be for work or for things that I don't understand in daily lives. And as Andy mentioned, also Copilot, which is a huge help when working. And basically that's everywhere. Now artificial intelligence is embedded in everything that we use, our emails, our phones, everything. We just don't find it at each point, and we don't know that we are using it.
Very good, Carlos, and great segue to our next question. So I'm going to get back to Andy and ask you, rewind to January and March, right? That the beginning of 2023, AI was all the rage. We were all going to be out of our jobs today, right? Doomsday was coming. Everything was going to change. What is your assessment of hype versus reality?
Right question. And I do remember the hype. I remember the Skynet would tell us all posts and the tinfoils hat were in demand. And I remember getting this eerie feeling. I think it was because I understood like firsthand the immense potential, the incapabilities of the technology, right, of AI. But I honestly think that the idea of AI replacing our jobs and rendering human expertise obsolete was a little bit exaggerated. It's not the first time that we've seen something like this happen. We can rewind in history. I love talking about Industrial Revolution, Ford, when he created the assembly line system, which hugely improved production efficiency, right? And a lot of people that were working at the time, they saw their manual job deprecated, right? But instead, a lot of technical kind of jobs came to life, right? And this is something that Diego Cortés already mentioned. This is the time to actually hone your abilities, to start getting, degrees and starting to learn more and how it works. And I think it's also very important to hone your soft skills ability. That I think is the thing that set us apart from our AI counterpart. But to answer your question, no, I do not think that human jobs will go obsolete anytime soon now.
Very good. Thank you, Andy. Diego Martinez, what are your thoughts?
Okay, I think the hype is great. Lots of people are looking at AI like from this year. They are testing it, they are playing with it. Everybody's having ideas on what AI is and what can do. Eventually, this hype will end, but their work, like their experience, will remain. As Andy was saying, like this doomsday prediction comes every 5 years or so, and it's been coming like since we have memory. From the Industrial Revolution, yes, like up to like 60 years ago when they started thinking about like the AI as a concept. And at the time, AI was just solving a puzzle, right? So if a mouse can do it, a machine can do it. And now they say, okay, at the time they say, okay, that's AI, and we are gonna be doomed because of it. But it hasn't happened. So AI is just another tool. It's another concept that is pervasive now, as well as we have electricity, electronics, and computers. Everything is in front of us, but we don't notice that we are using it, right? We are not using the concept, but actually we are using it. The only thing with the hype is just that, like the media brings the attention to that and everybody is aware. of AI these days.
Thank you, Diego. Diego Cortez, what are your thoughts?
Yeah. Okay. AI was not invented at the beginning of the year. Yes. Obviously, it was a boom because many people start to use AI. But by the way, before we use before AI, when we use Google Maps, when we use Google, when we search something in Google, behind of that, we were using artificial intelligence. But now the boom was because we start to use artificial intelligence in a different way. Yeah. Companies as OpenAI, they create the famous ChatGPT. Now I can say that famous because most of the people maybe already use ChatGPT, and it's incredible. Yes, still is incredible after 6-7 months how we can chat with a machine as if we chat with a person, and even better because we, the humans, we have some limit knowledge, or our abilities. I mean, it's not the same like a machine that can save a lot of information, etc. And I mean, the interaction even is better with the machine. So it was incredible, and it happens at the beginning of the year. Or yes, generate images just with a short description, with a prompt we call. It was incredible. And yes, welcome this boom. We enjoy the boom, but also like Andy mentioned, people start thinking, okay, if AI is able to do that, to have some like a human behavior, what is going to do in the future? Or what is going to happen in the coming months? So now, people start thinking, okay, we are going to lose our jobs, etc. Even the artificial intelligence is going to destroy us, is going to kill the humanity, etc. These kind of things that now is not happening that, and I don't think it's going to happen. So again, also for example, Diego Martinez mentioned that yes, we invent electricity, okay, we invent the internet, we invent the smartphones. We had also other technological advance, but I mean, depends on the humans if the technology is good or not. Yes, so I would say that AI is invented and is going to bring more benefits for the humanity, but also can be that bring negative things. So it depends on how we use the AI. I think that AI is going to how do you say, it will it will be out of a job. I mean, sorry, a lot of people will be out of a job because of AI. Again, this is not the first time that happened. Yes, with other inventions, it happens, but it's the moment where we need to also contribute. Yes, learn how works artificial intelligence, how to apply the AI to the medicine, to other industries, to the sports, and create laws for that, etc., etc. So I prefer to say that we should continue enjoying the artificial intelligence and also learning more and create applications for our use. Yeah.
Very good. Thank you. Carlos Jimenez, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts. Back in January, with all the hype that came with the AI and ChatGPT and everything, did that make me think if I wanted to keep on AI, keep working on AI? Because with all the new experts that were coming on LinkedIn, making their posts every day about how they were the new people who knew everything about AI, and I've been here working for a little bit with AI, and I haven't gotten to that level of expert, and they had read 3 articles in Medium, and they knew everything. So did that make me want to change my career path? Now in January and August, I think that the hype has come down. All the doomsday talking and all the doomsday alarmists that were in January talking about how AI would make us all have no jobs and we would suffer and AI would dominate would rule the world and everything. They have stopped making posts at least, and we have started looking at different kind of posts, some more interesting posts and how people are having new kinds of jobs with AI and everything. As Diego was saying, this is not the first time that has happened. For example, right now, I think most of us can't live without our alarms in our phones. But back in the 18th century, there were some people called the knocker-uppers, who were people that went all the way through the city, knocking on people's windows so they could get up in the morning. So when the alarm clocks were invented, these people went out of a job. And what happened? These people found another new job. For example, maybe fixing those alarm clocks and stuff like that. When Henry Ford invented the car, all the people that drove carriages went out of a job eventually. And what happened? They found new jobs. So this is something that's just that's a cycle, and every now and then when there's some new technology, some jobs are done and some jobs are newly created. Now with the AI, there's people that's making more than $300,000 a year for writing prompts. I don't think this is a profession that will continue throughout the years. I think that profession will, for example, start to be less relevant in a few years or in a few months. But there are some new professions that are coming now, and all that doomsday talking that was happening in January, I think that people are getting used to the idea of having AI around, even though, as I mentioned before, they were using it, they just didn't know. They are getting used to using AI more frequently, and they're noticing that maybe it's a little bit too alarmist to think that we will be out of jobs in the next month just because of AI.
Very good. Thank you, Carlos. Our last question focuses on the future. We were talking about, the hype versus reality, the present of the AI, a little bit of the past about AI. But I want to finalize the conversation with a forward-looking question, right? So, Andy, where do you think AI is going from here?
Sure. So I, for one, I'm excited about AI's trajectory. And side comment, just to ruffle Carlos' feathers, I'll promise the AI posts to keep coming day in, day out. But specifically about what is to come for AI, I think that we can expect it to be even more ingrained in our daily lives. And Carlos already mentioned this, right? We already, the final user, without knowing it, already is using some sort of AI, right? But we can expect it, I think, to be more into, sectors like healthcare, finances, education. And while that makes me, very excited and what is to come, I do think that there is a urgent topic that cannot be or cannot go unattended, which I think it's the ethical, to ensure an ethical usage of AI practices, right? And I think that we already kind of seeing that in the, there is this in the European Union, they're already talking about AI Act, which is the first regulation on artificial intelligence. But I think those sort of conversations need to start happening, because I think this is a great tool, but like any tool, it's as good as the usage that you can basically give it, right? So there is a lot of potential. There is a lot of danger that comes with it. So I think that's what I want to maybe talk about. You know, with a great power comes great responsibility, and I think that's maybe what I want to talk about in terms of the future, right?
Very good point, Andy. Diego Martinez, what are your thoughts? Where do you think AI is going from here?
Okay. Okay, let me start this answer with a little of definition of what I think AI is. Because I don't think like all automations or decision support tools are AI, right? For a tool to be AI, it should be self-corrected. It should be creative. It should be capable of adapting to changes in context, right? So I come from the operational research, and like we have the shortest path algorithm, right? And from there we know like that's not machine learning, that's not AI, that's just an algorithm that some really smart guys developed years ago, right? And then, yeah, we can think about that as a AI, but I will say it's not. And like this is important thinking forward, right? AI right now, for instance, the generative AI as we see in ChatGPT or Stable Diffusion, all of that, they fall into the narrow AI, meaning like they solve a specific problem, right? And the future of AI should be a general AI, right? Something that is capable of learning by itself, but also something that is aware that it is learning, right? And is able to share that knowledge. So it can also be social, right? Right now, like ChatGPT doesn't, in general, doesn't speak with another ChatGPT. But the idea, I think, is going in that direction. But also, if we think in only like narrow AI, we think in the interactions between different teams, right? So every combination of disciplines, you can join them with generative AI, and that will be another solution. That will be another product. And as Andy mentioned, like the ethical regulations come after a lot of hype, a lot of development. And later, like we will have like enforcement of these rules and regulations.
Very good, Diego. Diego Cortez, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think AI is going to kill the humanity. No, many people is thinking about that. I want to say that maybe it's can be a philosophical answer, but in the past, many people was thinking about the origin of the humanity, and nowadays many people is thinking about the future. Yes, in general, not about AI, not only about AI. But yes, today AI brings some benefits. Yes, some benefits in different areas, not only for people who work in the technical part, also in other areas, healthcare, medicine, creativity and design, sport, education, etc. And I think AI will will continue bringing benefits in those areas. So this is fine. Yes. We, with technical backgrounds, we should also learn more about AI, contribute, and something that Mateo you asked to Andy in the first question about the if we how you say that if we believe in Copilot or how what is the critical level that we have, something like that you ask, and I said that we need to continue be critical, so we cannot believe just in the artificial intelligence because of that. No, we need to receive answer from it, but yes, validate. And we need to be in a constant validation of things. Yes, it is like a personal assistant. It will help a lot, but we need to review. Yes, we need to review. And yes, for sure, it will. We need to regulate the use of artificial intelligence, but it's not only the work of our of the governments. It's not only that. It's also we need to regulate the use of the AI in our homes. It's like today when our children use the smartphone. Okay, please stop to use. Now go to the park and play, etc. So also we need to say, okay, it's good if our children has to present has a homework. Please don't use always artificial intelligence. Yes, think and validate with AI. Yes, so I could say that the regulations is in different levels. But yes, at the end, I would say that AI will bring, just to conclude, AI will bring, it will continue bringing good, really good benefits for the humanity. We need to think positively. We need to use in the right way AI, and yes, enjoy the future.
Very good. Carlos Jimenez, what are your thoughts on the future of AI?
I'm excited about the future. Maybe it'll be, as Diego mentions, that AI will kill us all. Maybe it'll be as Diego Martinez and Andy mentioned, that it'll be great and awesome things will be built. But I think that something great is coming. Diego was mentioning that all the work that has been done in this few months with all of the hype for AI will remain, and that's a great thing. There has been a lot of attention in the field, and there has been a lot of development in newer algorithms and how to use AI for good. So all that will remain. The ball is already rolling, so we will have a lot of development and a lot of advances in the field. But I also think that since the hype was so high, maybe people were too hyped and thought that AI was going to solve a bunch of problems, or they have found that AI has issues, like it answers incorrectly. Sometimes, as Diego was mentioning, we have to be critical about the answers, and we find that sometimes it's not correctly formed, or sometimes it's not saying correct things and stuff like that. So the hype has gone a lot down in this few months, and I think that maybe something that we have already seen in the past might happen again, which is the AI winter. I don't think AI development will stop completely. I think, as I said before, the ball is rolling and we will have a lot of development, but maybe there will be less hype and less investment into AI, because right now this past months there has been a lot of investment in this. So we will continue to work towards a general artificial intelligence, which is like the goal, to have our artificial intelligence, as Diego Martinez was mentioning, that is critical, that can talk with other artificial intelligences and stuff like that. But maybe it'll slow down a little bit, because there was too much hype, and people will realize that maybe it's not that nearby the all the hype that they had. And I'm excited. There will be a lot of field to work on in artificial intelligence. There will be new professions formed. There will be a lot that won't continue, but there will be new opportunities, and I think that it'll be great. And to answer a little bit about or to give another point of view about what Diego Cortez was mentioning, maybe I don't think I disagree a little bit with you about how kids shouldn't use artificial intelligence. I think that maybe it's the education system which needs to change, because when I was little, I remember teachers telling me that I couldn't use a calculator to make math, because what would happen when I didn't have what would happen in the future when I didn't have a calculator. And surprise, surprise, now I have a phone with me in my pocket every day, and I have a calculator with me in my phone, and I have it in my computer, and I have it all day long with me. So maybe it's not that kids don't need to use artificial intelligence. Maybe it's the education system needs to teach kids how to use artificial intelligence to be more critical, to generate better homeworks, to generate better essays, or to write better, or how to ask it to generate different things. But I don't think that the solution is to stop using it, as a letter that we heard a lot about a few months ago, where a lot of CEOs signed a letter to stop developing AI. And I don't think we will stop developing AI. I think that the solution is, as Andy mentioned, regulating. And I think that the world needs to change towards learning how to use AI for good, learning how to use it to improve, to be more productive, and stop going against the advance of technology, because this is a tool, and if we use it for good, I think it'll be great.
Very good. You all mentioned very important topics, and it's amazing how each of those topics can become an episode in itself, right? We talked about ethics, we talked about regulations, we talked about AGI, artificial general intelligence, we talked about enforcement of regulations, we talked about contributing ourselves to AI, right? We talked about critical thinking, we talked about education at schools and at home. We talked about the balance of, technology versus just, like Diego was mentioning, playing, outdoors or whatever, right? Or how do you mix both, right? We talked about prosperity that might be coming. We talked about excitement, fear. We talked about a ball that is already rolling. It's not stopping, right? There's no way to stop it. We talked about a little bit less of attention, which might be a good thing. But we all seem to agree in that this needs to keep going, and at the end, the benefits for humanity will greatly surpass any risks or dangers that we see today. But we still have to keep our eyes and our ears open and stay on top of the game, right? This was truly an enriching conversation. I appreciate it. I enjoyed it. I appreciate you all being here and contributing your time, your thoughts, your passion. It's exactly what we wanted to get out of this episode, right? The story told by its participants, and how you're working with it, and how you see the future. So thank you all. I hope we can do this again sometime. And it was an absolute pleasure to have you here.